quote-unquote copies never seem to last a chance in today's day and age. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about that. Alright, hi, TT here, and today we are going to be talking about how Royale High quote-unquote copies never seem to stand a chance in today's day and age. Alright, so before the video starts, please make sure to like and subscribe and follow all of my socials. They will be linked in the description. Without further ado, let me get into the video now. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I want this video to be a Royale High rant or an actual video. I'll have to decide by the time I'm editing this video, but this entire topic would have originated on Twitter, and it genuinely made me frustrated when I saw that there were some people that were genuinely attacking this game, and it just didn't really make that much sense to me why people were attacking this game. And the game I am talking about is Monsterverse. As a lot of people would know, I am an influencer for the game and I have been advertising it a lot on the channel. And no, this is not me just simply defending Monsterverse. This is me saying that games like these should genuinely not be attacked just because they are similar to Royale High, and that is what we are about to get into right now. So the post that I am referring to comes from the Twitter poster by the name of @aquanature6k on Twitter. We have talked about them before, and they quoted a tweet that came from @Richie on Twitter, and the post reads in the quoted tweet, "Royale High is the pink print, y'all won't ever be Royale High, keep trying XX." And this kind of makes me laugh a little bit because it's like, these are the same type of people that complain about Royale High not coming out with updates, not coming out with this, not coming out with that, not listening to the community when we truly do need stuff. Like, yes, Royale High is the bigger game here. Royale High does have over 10 million visits to it, and yes, it is very credible. A lot of YouTubers have played it, a lot of YouTubers have given it all its credibility, but it's very hard for somebody to be defending Royale High at this rate, especially for what has been happening throughout the entirety of 2023 and 2024, which, if you do not know, is basically the whole doll situation, the inflation, the lack of updates that have been coming to the game, Campus 4 not being updated, like those type of things that we have been lacking. And it's kind of funny that players like these come out to defend Royale High when Royale High is obviously in shambles. Like, I am not going to sit here and just defend Royale High because Royale High is on something right now, and whatever Barbie has in store for us, we just have to wait. And a lot of Royale High YouTubers just do not want to be making content on this game, so it's kind of insane for this person to just be defending Royale High. Like, at this point, I thought Royale High players would want to be grateful for a new game, even if it's not exactly like Royale High, to be at the bare minimum very similar to Royale High so that you can transfer over to it. So I just find people like this on Twitter to just be kind of idiotic and not like thinking straight. Like, there are a lot of people on Twitter that just don't think straight, honestly, but this person in specific, I'm sorry, like, this is not it. Your mind is not in the right place right now. And to read the actual quoted tweet that Zahid would have posted on his Twitter page, it reads, "Fun fact, the owner of the game Monsterverse is literally anti-Royale High. So why would they develop a game in the hopes of being like Royale High and getting a slice of the pie? Make it make sense. Royale High is not the only dress-up game there is, nor did it invent the concept of dress-up and roleplay. Then the devs have mentioned Monsterverse is not just a dress-up game. Hell, if you actually look at some of the leaks shared by Monsterverse account, the game is unique and separates itself from Royale High in many ways, such as how they actually care about inclusivity and making sure everyone feels included." And all of the leaks that I would have shared with you guys on all of these leaked videos are completely true, because they are working so hard on pushing the inclusivity of the game, and I am honestly very impressed by the amount of inclusivity that is in Monsterverse, because there's not that much inclusivity in Royale High, and even if there is inclusivity in Royale High, they are always culturally represented inaccurately, and that is a pure fault of the Royale High devs, and a very good example of this is, for example, the Cherry Blossom set. The Cherry Blossom set is culturally inaccurate in the sense that it was made for players to buy the set as a kimono, but as you would know, or if you do not know, the kimono part of the Cherry Blossom set was removed because it was culturally inaccurate. The actual set was never reworked. And a lot of things that got a lot of people riled up about the set was specifically the hairpins. The hairpins were not culturally accurate about the set. And going down the rabbit hole of the cultural appropriation, there were some things in the Wake Up Barbie movement. If you guys don't know what that Wake Up Barbie movement is, I would have posted a video called the Royale High Iceberg. Here's the video on the screen right now. I highly recommend it. I spent days editing this. I loved this video. It is probably the best video I have ever made on my channel, and I love it so much. Me basically talking about the Wake Up Barbie movement, and I basically talk about the whole Wake Up Barbie movement. And if you do not want to go to that video to know what the Wake Up Barbie movement was, basically the Wake Up Barbie movement was a movement that was basically a hashtag on Twitter trending for a bunch of very angry Royale High players that were understandably very angry for the lack of the Black History Month update being updated for multiple years on end ever since it was released. So players on Twitter decided to share all of the wrong things in Royale High, all of the things that Royale High did that were culturally inaccurate, and all of the things that they wanted changed in the game, basically calling out Barbie with this hashtag, hence the hashtag Wake Up Barbie. And the fact that Monsterverse is trying to steer away from things like this and trying to actually push the narrative of being a very inclusive game is why a lot of people like this should not be ungrateful for games like this. Like, yes, Royale High has been around for a longer period of time, but that doesn't mean that people on Twitter or even in Royale High or even you yourself, that doesn't mean that you should disregard any new games that are coming out. Like, for example, Momo City, as I would have talked about before, that game is nothing like Royale High, bro. If anything, you guys are getting like a dose of The Sims, the Animal Crossing niche, and maybe a little bit of the actual Bloxburg game, because in the game you actually have jobs. If you guys want to know more about that, please go to this video on the screen right now where I talk about Momo City, because I really think that a lot of Royale High players do need to go to other games, because Royale High is not coming out with the Campus 4 realm anytime soon, and I'm not betting that it is going to be around the flowering season, which, if you guys don't know, the flowering season is in March. I think it is probably going to come around somewhere in the tidal glow season, though I don't know when, and I'm not going to make any theory videos on it because it's basically a waste of air, so I'm not gonna do that. All right, so I hope everybody is able to want to move on to different games if you are not interested in Royale High, but that does not mean that you should necessarily dunk on the new games that are going to be coming out, because everybody just needs to have a positive mentality. And if you just think of Royale High to be that game that is going to be on top and reigning as that #1 game where you go to school and be a princess and roleplay and stuff like that, then you're not going to be open to going to new games and actually try them out. You're shutting out the idea of going to different games before you actually try them. So I want everybody that's watching this video to just be open-minded to new games that may be coming out, new games that I will be advertising on my shorts or in actual long-form videos. Just be open-minded to any one of these new games. Alright, so that is all I have to say on today's topic. If you guys have anything to add, please put it down in the comments. And yeah, that is all I have to say on today's video. If you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see ya!